Mr. Holmes, whatever brings you here so late at night?
I'm interested in the case of young Leighton Chapman. He was arrested earlier this evening and accused of a double murder.
I beg your pardon? That case is quite clear to the police. Or are there any new facts that we don't know about?
Who knows, Inspector?
Look, you are free to investigate, of course, Mr. Holmes. Chapman was arrested with a revolver in his possession, which you can find in the evidence room. The suspect himself is in custody.
Did you find anything else on his person?
A few personal belongings. Nothing particular, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, Lestrade.
Mr. Holmes.
I'm...
So this is the gun that Leighton was holding when he was caught by the police. It is a Webley revolver, a reliable weapon. It seems as though the shells were not removed from the cylinder. Two out of the 6 shells have been fired. There were 2 shots. A cheap watch, bought with his own money, no doubt. 2 out of the 6 shells have been fired. There were 2 shots. These cigarettes are filled with cheap tobacco. Nothing interesting. Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Good evening, Mr. Chapman.
Who are you? I've got nothing to say. It's all a mistake.
Calm down, Leighton. I have come here to help you. To find out if you truly are innocent, as your younger brother Wiggins has told me.
My brother? You know him? Then that means you're...
Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, blimey. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell you everything.
Good. Tell me your account of what happened.
I left my work and I hurried up to see the fireworks in Whitechapel. I was late, so I decided to cut through Half Moon Street. I saw the first fireworks light up in the sky. I bumped into a constable on a corner before entering Half Moon. Then suddenly, what with all the firework flare, I saw 2 men. They were both lying flat in the middle of the street. I stopped where I was. I thought about turning back to the police, but as I was thinking of that, I saw a third person. He was leaning over the body that was furthest from me. The second I saw him, he raised his head and he stared at me. In a flash, I saw his gun, but he made a dash for it instead and he escaped through Whitechapel Street.
So you might still have had time to return to the constable.
I panicked. I didn't know what to do. Anyway, I approached the bodies just to see if they were still alive. I saw that one had blood pumping out of his stomach. He was dying. It was horrible. The second one was already dead. He had a hole in his head. He was holding a gun in his hand, though. I took it, and then I followed the third man.
Interesting. Pray, continue.
I turned a corner, and I saw the man standing in the middle of the street. He seemed to be in some sort of panic. And then, Mr. Holmes, something strange happened. I told the police and they laughed at what I said, but I swear to you, my words are true. I started running towards him. But then I was blinded by a flash. It was so bright that I hardly saw anything for a good dozen seconds. But I kept running forward. As I arrived in Whitechapel, I heard a woman screaming. And then I was caught by the police. But there wasn't a trace of that man. Of course, then they found a gun and all that blood. I couldn't see the murderer escaping and all that mess. Perhaps I was still half-blinded at that moment.
A thrilling account, my young man. Leighton, are you able to describe the person whom you saw standing in Half Moon Street?
Well, I wasn't able to see his face at all. It was too dark, and he was too far away. I could see his silhouette.
And what about that?
Nothing so special. He was wearing a jacket. He was quite average in size and his weight.
I see. Was there anything else that struck you at the time?
No. But perhaps... It's strange, but I can't remember the sound of his footsteps as he was running away. Perhaps it was because of the fireworks or the surprise of me seeing him.
Leighton, I confess I am puzzled. Why should a young lad like you take a gun from the hands of a dead man and set off in pursuit of a probable killer?
I know. I keep wondering that, but at the time it was like a reflex. A criminal ought to be arrested, and he was armed.
You were willing to risk your life. That was a little foolish, unless you wanted revenge.
No, Mr. Holmes. I was just being brave and stupid. No, Mr. Holmes. I was just being brave and stupid. No, Mr. Holmes. I was just being brave and stupid. No, Mr. Holmes. I was just being brave and stupid.
I'm sure that you were, but I believe that you may have recognized one of the victims, Brian Vercotti. You knew that gentleman well, did you not?
However could you know that?
You have a typical tattoo of the Westgate Brotherhood upon your hand. I observed exactly the same mark upon Mr. Vercotti. You came to know him from your sharing a past prison sentence. Am I correct, Mr. Chapman?
Oh, God. You're right, Mr. Holmes.
Would you tell me a little about Brian Vercotti?
We were convicted for a robbery. Once in prison, both of us joined one of these fraternities. During that year, we tried to help each other out, you know?
You were quite young then, I believe.
Yes, Mr. Holmes, we were. We'd only stolen a pound of meat. After we were released, and when I saw what my little brother had become, I decided to work towards living an honest life.
And Vercotti?
He had a hard time. His sister had died in a Whitechapel dispensary while he was in prison. He had no family anymore. Our paths split. He fell back into crime.
So you lost him?
Yes. And for around 2 years, I heard no news of him at all.
We shall see you soon, young man.
Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Butler's key matches the lock perfectly. A flare pistol. Perhaps it was pawned by a destitute sailor. A flare pistol. The ram's heads. This necklace belongs to the 5 rams of Mittelin collection. Interesting. That means that Kenneth Butler owned a part of this collection all this time, 10 years after the theft. It looks as though Mr. Butler kept a careful record of his operations. Crampons and a sharp ice axe would only be brought here by a mountaineer. Locked.
What's up with you, lad? What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting for my brother to be released.
Your brother?
The one that you caught, beat up and imprisoned.
Ah, the murderer.
He ain't killed no one, copper.
Watch your mouth, lad, else you'll be joining that worthless brother of yours.
A fairly long pole with a forked end. I am unable to see any higher. I need to find something to lift my lamp. This should be useful. This is most definitely a bullet hole. The brick cracks are fresh. Watson, there was a third shot fired in this street. Constable Marrow, I would value your assistance in this investigation.
It would be my pleasure, Mr. Holmes.
I would like to make sure that there are no places in Half Moon Street where a man could hide while you were running through it with your lamp.
All right, Mr. Holmes, what should I do?
Take your lamp and start walking, just as you did before, and try to find me.
Understood. I can see you very well, Mr. Holmes.
All right, Constable. Let's try again. I'll find another place to hide.
Here you are, Mr. Holmes.
All right, Constable. Let's try again. I'll find another place to hide.
Mr. Holmes, it wasn't difficult to find you at all.
It is obvious now. No one could escape Constable Marrow's lamp while hiding in the street.
It would be my pleasure to assist you with your investigation.
This is exactly what we need in order to imitate the flash of the fireworks. These tools are exactly what I need to climb the wall.
Why are you looking at me all the time like that?
I'm just watching you, lad. I never know what to expect from people like you.
People like me?
Yes, street beggars and thieves.
I ain't a thief.
Oh, no? Then where did you get whatever it is that you're gnawing on? I very much doubt that you bought it.
What ain't seen can't hardly be stolen.
Constable Marrow, Watson, I would like to perform another kind of reenactment with your help.
I'm listening, Mr. Holmes.
I want to check if Leighton's testimony can be trusted. If someone could vanish into thin air at a specific moment.
But Holmes, I don't see how.
I am going to be the mysterious gentleman whom Leighton followed. I will stand exactly where he saw him before he was blinded by the flash. Watson, you will be Leighton. When I fire the signal flare, you should start to chase me.
I understand, Holmes.
You, Constable Marrow, just play your part and do exactly as you did. Just, please, wait 5 seconds after the signal flare. I doubt that Polly Powell would have screamed any earlier.
As you say, Mr. Holmes.
Let us begin then. Catch me if you can. The moon illuminates this wall. Anyone trying to climb it would be easily spotted by Constable Marrow. This wall is cast in shadow. It would be difficult to see anyone scaling it.
I can barely see anything. Holmes? Are you there? Where is he? My God, a man can't just disappear like that. Holmes? Holmes? Where are you?
I cannot see you, Mr. Holmes. Dr. Watson, it seems that Mr. Holmes has disappeared.
Don't worry, gentlemen, I am up here, above your heads.
How on earth did you get up there, Holmes?
I am using crampons and a climbing axe, although the person we are looking for did not leave any traces of such tools. Constable, is there any way to get to the top of this building?
Yes, Mr. Holmes, I can show you. The door to the building can be found from Whitechapel Street.
Gentlemen, I am on my way down. It's empty. Someone broke through the window to get inside the attic, but in his haste he ripped his jacket. A cluster of thick black threads. They're unusually strong. I should examine them under the microscope. Let us take a closer look. It is not a thread, but a hair. I very much doubt that it is human. I need to compare this sample with a human hair and a horse hair. A shaving brush is usually made from horsehair. Watson, could you please pass me your shaving brush?
Here you are.
Watson, look, what's outside the window?
Well, I don't see anything. Ouch! Holmes!
Oh, don't make such a fuss. One little hair. Human hair is significantly thinner than the black sample. The horsehair is thinner than the hair that we found. So, this black hair belongs to an animal, and it is larger than a horse. A hair from a large and exotic animal.
I'm all...
Wiggins is currently at Half Moon.
Wiggins, my lad, what are you doing here? You'd best be leaving and be quick about it.
I've done nothing wrong. You'd learn more by watching Mr. Holmes. He knows exactly what he's doing. Not like you.
Oi, watch your tongue.
Mr. Holmes?
We have good news for you, Wiggins. The investigation has proven very interesting so far. We found facts and details that confirm your brother's innocence.
I knew it, Mr. Holmes.
But for now, Wiggins, we need your help.
Anything you like, Gov.
I need you to locate a circus that has stopped over in London. It needs to have disposed of at least one exotic animal, a very large one.
You can count on me, Mr. Holmes.
I do hope that those children don't get into trouble, Holmes.
Don't worry, Watson. I predict some news in 7 seconds.
Mr. Holmes, we found it. Here it is.
And this is a young Indian elephant, the highlight of the show. Duval Brothers, a well-known travelling circus that is currently stopped in London. I believe that is exactly the type of circus we are looking for. I'll pay it a visit.
Aye, you! Stop right there.
Good morning, sir. Pardon me, but why am I not allowed to walk around here?
Because it's private.
Well, I only wanted to meet the artistes.
You're wanting to apply for... Nah, you don't look like the type of, artistic lockpicker that we're looking for.
You might be surprised.
What? Nah, I don't think so. Clear off. You're a bit slow to catch on, eh? You're a bit slow to catch on, eh?
Spectacles are unpopular among thugs.
Stay where you are. What are you doing here, and where is Sherlock Holmes?
Calm down, Watson. Take deep breaths now. It's me.
Oh, thank God, Holmes. I can't get used to your disguises.
Thank you, Watson. That means I am ready to go.
Who are you? What's your name?
My name is Nigel. I'm here to open the locks.
Talented, eh? Let's see. Go inside the marquee and show yourself to Charles Foley. And I'd highly advise you not to trick him. Got that?
I've got it.
So, everything is here just as you asked. And what about the money? Some of the barrels are wet. Transportation issues, it couldn't be helped. Whatever. We'll be here after midnight to pick up the supplies. I want to be paid first. No. You'll be paid after we make the transfer, as I said. Right? I hope that no one saw you. The police are on the lookout. Of course not. I'm a professional. Glad to hear it. Be ready for tonight, then.
This printing press is old, but still quite capable of printing hundreds of pages per day. That's a picture of a contemporary gentleman wearing a Robin Hood hat. Interesting. From lambs into lions. Those are words of encouragement and defiance. This poster was clearly made to fire up rebellion amongst the people. There are enough posters to paste across half of London's walls. This wooden barrel is damaged. It is difficult to say what is inside. There is a spot on this barrel that was intentionally painted out. The crest of the Honourable Artillery Company. Could it be gunpowder? I need to be sure. Judging by the fractions and the scent, I can confirm that it is, in fact, gunpowder. The barrels are roughly clustered. Powder kegs, a printing press, and a great many blank papers. All of this was stolen by the Merry Men quite recently. And these poster samples. I am quite sure it is not a coincidence. The Merry Men are planning some sort of sabotage.
Stop right there. Who are you?
Are you Charles Foley?
Maybe.
They say that I can open any door.
Do they now? We'll see that lock near the chains on the table over there. Open that.
I need to find out what's behind this Charles Foley.
Oh, well, they're right. What's your name?
Nigel Shirley, from York.
Ah, Nigel from York. Never heard anything about you. How'd you hear about me?
It's a long story. I met your brother, Vincent the Butcher Foley, in prison. He told me all about his betrayal and all about you. Before I was released, he told me that you might find a job for me one day and pay me some money for me craft.
Well, he died 7 days ago in prison.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's all right. The traitor has paid the blood price for it. And you'll do the job anyway, because I need a talented lockpicker. I know just where to search for his legacy.
It's all about the Hellenistic treasures, isn't it?
Osh, you fool. Now, listen up. You'll come with us tonight, and you better mind yourself.
Us? Wait, who's coming then?
Billy, Jack and me.
And what will I get for that?
We'll share the loot. The one you seem to know about.
Right.
Wait for us at the abandoned manor house on the corner of Ladbroke Grove and Kensington Park Road at midnight.
Deal. Here I am at the manor. Somewhere inside it are the Hellenistic treasures. This lock is quite old. It shouldn't be much of a challenge. I need to find where the safe is hidden and lockpick it. This cupboard is an absolute mess. Several books have fallen from the shelves. It seems as though this cupboard can be moved. I'll give it a try. So, that's the lock I must open tonight. Let me see. What a surprise! Another lock. And I won't be able to pick it. I recall that precious key around Foley's neck. It might prove a decent fit. I suppose they hired me to only open the first lock. Let us wait for the thieves, trap them, and find out. Let us check the thieves' possible escape routes in the event that they are caught off guard by the police from the front door. This door is a perfect means of escape in an emergency. This chair is This should be useful. A solid rope. A solid... The ground floor window is a perfect way to escape the police. This works very well. No one will escape through this window now. The thieves won't attempt to escape through the front door if the police are right behind it. I wonder what this old chandelier is doing on the floor. It looks as though it was poorly attached. I suppose that the thieves already tried to open the lock with this formidable hammer, but they were unsuccessful. This hatch leads to a cellar. There is no ladder. If anyone falls here, he will need assistance to get out. This should be useful. Now, it's not an open hatch, just a nice carpet on the floor. I should walk carefully here, else my plan will be ruined. Now, if a thief runs through the kitchen, he'll pay a surprise visit to the cellar. This door leads to a kitchen, which holds the shortest route to the back door. The door is now blocked. Although this window is high above the ground, it would be possible for one of the thieves to attempt to use it for their escape. A simple but rather attractive bead necklace. This should be useful. This is the one step on these beads and our thief will go flying. I should walk carefully here, else my... Any thief who finds his way upstairs will roll down very quickly. I suppose that the thieves already tried to... This should be useful. If anyone takes the hammer, the rope will uncoil and make the chandelier fall. If he runs through the dining room and takes a sledgehammer to force open the door, the chandelier will knock him down. The traps for my circus companions are all prepared. I can leave now, but I'll return later with Charles Foley and his companions.
Police! Police! Stop where you are!
Where are they?
Trapped, Watson, with your assistance.
How so?
You sounded just like a real bobby, my dear fellow. You startled them into the traps.
I did?
I assure you, Watson, it was quite an entertaining show. They will not escape the house now.
You scum!
And this is the pistol used for the murder in Half Moon Street.
How do you know about that?
Have you closed the case yet, Sherlock?
Mycroft, what are you doing here? Did you follow me?
Sherlock, it may seem that I used you, but you should be pleased to know that you have served our queen well, in this instance. So now, let us catch the big fish. But this man is not one of the merry men?
No.
Then why exactly are we here, Sherlock?
This gentleman, Charles Foley, has been involved in a double murder, and the hunter of a set of valuable antiques, the Hellenistic treasures, which disappeared in a theft many years ago.
You're no better than the coppers!
Holmes, that is incredible. The Hellenistic treasures.
Indeed.
Nothing but trifles. Where are the merry men?
I don't know why you are asking me, Mycroft. They are yours to find.
I'll see you soon, dear brother.
Charles Foley, You committed the crime of premeditated murder and of theft. You will be severely punished for your deeds.
You are pitiful, you Scotland Yard dog.
Save your words for the gallows. I'm sure the journalists will love them. I shall leave now, Watson. Gentlemen, please take our friends here into custody.
Where are you going?
I have unfinished business. I'll see you at Baker Street.
Be careful with the lamps. Don't bring them too close to the barrels.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Who's there?
That is of no importance. What matters is who you are and the plans that you have here.
So you can stop us from carrying them out?
Eventually, yes.
Hey, careful. You'll blow us all up.
I'm listening.
We are a group known as the Merry Men. But I suppose you knew that already. We are the men who've already lost everything of value in their lives. We are ruined shopkeepers. We are workers who were fired from their jobs, honest people who were robbed. We were forced out from our homes and thrown onto the street, and all of this in the name of the so-called law. The laws that were set out by our government. The laws that make the commoners only more vulnerable and the wealthy more protected. We are not only from the British Empire. Some of us are from the New Lands, America, Australia, and we are many. But men we are still, and we are merry for that we stopped being afraid. For those powers that be had done their best to plant the fear inside our souls, and we accepted it so easily. The fear advised us to keep our heads bowed. It prevented us from fighting. Bankers and politicians, they own our lives, our work, our bread, and they push us to compete between each other, just to see who may serve them better. But in the end, they are the few, so they are weak. They are nothing without their titles. We should not fear them. Our so-called masters should fear us instead. The time has come for our group to stand tall. Our great and many merry men. We are going to blow up the London Stock Exchange. No lives shall be lost. But ownerships, debts, and property titles? They shall all be destroyed. They're only papers, after all. So many people will be freed over this night.
That is a radical step to take. What result do you truly expect?
Chaos. But soon people will understand that they are free, and that they don't belong to anyone. They will be able to work for themselves, together, without letting the rulers dictate what to do, and finally justice will arise.
What you are intending to do is a crime. It is not justice.
How do you see justice, then? Kids go to prison for a loaf of dry bread. And how many lords do you see punished for stealing from their people, sending them to their deaths in mines or overseas to fight for land? Our masters wouldn't hear us. So now it's time to sing the song of the merry men. Will you let us do our duty?
When the law serves only the few, it can no longer be trusted. Every man is equal, and he has a right to choose his own way. I shall not stop you.
So, you're interested in Russian literature now?
Quite, lately.
It is an interesting book. I remember a few lines.
Really? I tried reading it myself, but I had a hard time understanding it.
Yes, Doctor. It's about intelligence. Sherlock, I vaguely recall one of the lines. Sometimes it takes something more than intelligence to act intelligently. There were also a few words along the lines of pain and suffering are always inevitable for a large intelligence and a deep heart. Tell me, Doctor, does my brother show any signs of pain or suffering?
Not that I know of.
Because you see, Doctor, behind all of his masquerade, my brother does possess a deep heart. So deep that he does not recall where he places his love.
Well, I'm sure that...
His love and his duty that, in the first place, should be directed towards the Empire. For without it, we would be nothing. A country filled with uncivilized men. I should leave now. Sherlock, Dr. Watson.
Holmes, what just happened? What was that?
The start of a new world. Anything in the post, Watson? Any clients worthy of our attention?
Only a second reminder from Mrs. Hudson about our new neighbour. She urges you to remove your...
Oh, I don't care about that.
Holmes, the lady who will be moving in shortly has requested the use of our spare room to place all of her boxes.
Wait, what? A lady?